Hello everyone, welcome to the 8th lecture of this crash course for your PMP certification exam. So if you are into project management and you are planning to write the PMP certification exam over the next few months, this free course on YouTube will equip you with all the basic details that you need to know about the PMP certification exam. So this is a series of 14 lectures and you can view all the 14 lectures of this crash course through the link here or through the link in the description section of this video. So make sure you do not miss any of these lectures of this free course on YouTube. I am Ray, a PMP certified project manager, and I have helped thousands of PMP aspirants like you to prepare for the PMP exam efficiently and pass it on their very first attempt. You can refer to my reviews on Udemy or the mentions on my LinkedIn profile. Now please note that this course is an abridged version of my full 35-hour training course on PMP exam that is available on Udemy. So if you like this mini version, please make sure you check out the entire course that is available on Udemy. The link will be in the description section of this video as well. So this lecture is number 8 out of the 14 lessons in this course, and in this lecture we'll be talking about how should you choose between a home-based exam versus a center-based exam when you are booking your PMP exam slot with PMI. So whether you choose to take a home-based exam or a center-based exam, there are pros and cons for each of the decisions, okay? Now, as your instructor, it's my duty to help you understand the positives and negatives of each of these options so that whenever you are taking the decision of writing the PMP exam either from your home or from your test center, at least you are making a informed choice, okay? And also along the way, I will tell you that what is my personal recommendation when it comes to a home-based exam versus a center-based exam, okay? So let's get started.
To make that decision, guys, you need to understand the pros and cons for each one. First, let's talk about the pros and cons of a center-based exam. Talking about the advantages, guys, the biggest benefit of writing an exam in a test center is getting the support of an exam-like environment. The exam cubicles, the pin drop silence, the palpable seriousness in everyone who is writing the exam all works towards turning your conscious and subconscious mind ready to perform at its best. This is very important, guys. Okay. Next, if you are writing the PMP exam in an authorized test center, which is now managed by a company called Pearson VUE, you will get access to a scratch paper with 2 pencils or an erasable marker board with a marker pen. This can come very handy during your exam, guys. For example, you can use them to create a brain dump, note down important EVM formulas, do some rough calculations during the exam, and lots more. Number 3, in an exam center, you will have access to noise cancelling earphones. This can sometimes be very handy to eliminate background noise to help you focus more in the exam. And last and the most important, guys, in an exam center, you do have a high reliability of infrastructure. That includes power backup, uninterrupted power supplies, primary and backup servers in case of failure, and a very strong internet connection. So these are some of the advantages of a center-based exam. Now let's talk about the disadvantages of a center-based exam. A major disadvantage for a center-based exam, guys, is the travel during the exam day. Of course, this is something that's not completely in your hands. Unless you are located very close to the exam center, there are risks of traffic, road accidents, unexpected delays, etc., which may increase your stress levels a lot before the exam. Also, there is this stress of adapting to a completely new environment at a test center, which can be a source of stress for some of us who are more habituated writing tests from home or working from home. Hence, these kind of things also needs to be accounted for during your decision making between a center-based exam or a home-based exam. Now, let's talk about the pros and cons of a home-based exam setup. For a home-based exam, guys, you have the comfort of your home and a known surrounding environment from where you can write the exam. Also, the travel and all the stress associated with it can be avoided if you are choosing a home-based exam. Talking about the negative, guys, the biggest risk of a home-based exam is the risk of technical issues while you are writing the exam. Now, of course, guys, this has nothing to do with how well or how bad you are prepared for the exam, but it can be a source of massive stress during the exam. I have heard multiple instances from PMP aspirants who faced issues with firewall, power backup, screen getting freezed, and it goes without saying they were not nice experiences. Also, PMI has very strict protocols while taking the exam from home, like you cannot move out of the view of your webcam, or you can't murmur or speak to yourself while thinking about a question, and even a minor deviation from these protocols can lead to cancellation of your exam. Moreover, when you are writing the exam from home, there is always risks of external disturbances in your neighborhood which you literally have no control upon. So we need to consider all of these while deciding whether to write the exam from home or from the test center. So coming back to home-based exam versus center-based exam, what would be my recommendation, guys? I believe many of you have guessed by now. I would always recommend taking the exam from an authorized test center of PMI. And the reason I am saying that, guys, is as follows. Firstly, in a PMI authorized test center, guys, there is always lesser stress during the check-in process because you have experienced and often very helpful staff to support you in case you face any issues. This, in contrast, is very tricky while you write the exam from home because literally you are all alone. Your proctor can only support you remotely or over phone, and it's not often very effective like this as well. Next, it's the availability of scratch paper during your exam. This is a big advantage, guys, if you are writing the exam from a test center. There you'll be provided either with sheets of white paper and pencils or an erasable marker board with markers. These can be very handy while solving problems during your PMP exam or brain dumping EVM formulas, etc. Personally, I can think and solve problems in an exam much better if I have a pen and paper at my disposal, and I'm sure it's the case for most of us. Now, in contrast, if you're writing the exam from home, you have access to neither a paper or a erasable marker board. What you get instead is a digital whiteboard within the exam software platform, which, honestly speaking, what I think is totally useless. Now, that's my opinion, guys, okay? Don't quote me there. Thirdly, when you write the exam from a center, guys, you get a really good IT infrastructure by default. All the exam centers have power backups, backup servers, noise cancelling earphones, which I believe is very important for you to perform well in the exam. And finally, while writing the exam, if you face any technical glitches, for example, if your screen freezes or goes blank, or maybe your session terminates unexpectedly, there is always help available at your disposal. All the Pearson VUE exam centers have very efficient IT support people to help you in these kind of situations. Just imagine the stress you will have if such issues happen at your home midway during the exam, right?
Now, having said all of these, guys, you may still consider writing the PMP exam from home provided the following.
Number one, you already have a robust work from home infrastructure with PCs, webcams, an undisturbed corner of the house, a quiet environment, etc. Number two, you are like 200% sure that your IT infrastructure is highly reliable. No unnecessary firewalls in your computer, you have a power backup, a stable fiber optic internet connection, etc. And finally, you should definitely consider writing the exam from home, guys, if you have some personal circumstances or special abilities which might make traveling to an exam center inconvenient for you. I leave this final decision for you guys, okay?
Now, before we move on to the next lecture, guys, a few important things that you need to keep in mind if you are planning to write the PMP exam from a PMI authorized test center.
Number 1. Carry at least 2 ID proofs at the exam center. In case the center doesn't accept one, you will always have a backup. Number 2. Take pre-tour of your exam center location a week prior to your scheduled date if possible. That will always reduce your stress levels for travel on the exam day. Number 3. Plan to reach at least 1 hour prior to your exam start time. Basically what I mean is plan your travel with sufficient buffer time on the exam day. Okay. Number 4. Carry some light snacks with you to store in your locker at the exam center. You will get access to one locker at the exam center to store your personal belongings. Number 5. Use your scratch paper or erasable board to your advantage. You can do a brain dump of formulas, guys, but mind that it's after your exam has started. And number 6. Use your noise cancelling earphones if you feel distracted by surrounding noise. Generally, in Pearson VUE centers, the earphones are of very good quality.
Next, what are the most important things you need to keep in mind if you are choosing to write the exam from your home?
Number 1. As we already discussed, check your IT infrastructure well before you plan your exam from home. Number 2. Download and check your OneView software for any issues or glitches a few days before your actual exam. Number 3. Get accustomed to use the digital whiteboard. Pearson VUE has a trial version of this whiteboard available on their website. Definitely try out your hands on that one. Number 4. It's very important, guys, you need to doubly make sure that no one enters your room while the exam is in progress. Your exam will get terminated immediately if something happens like that. Okay. Number 5. Choose a quiet environment as much as possible. Noise of background traffic, ambulances, police cars, civil works near your location can sometimes be very distracting. And mind that you don't have access to noise cancelling earphones if you are writing the exam from home. And finally, read all the protocols of a home-based exam and make sure you abide by them. There are a few very rigid ones, like you cannot move out of the view of the proctor in your webcam while the exam is taking place, or you cannot murmur or speak to yourself and things of that sort. Okay, so know what you are signing up for.
I wish you all the best for your PMP exam preparation. Let me know in the comment section below if you are finding this course helpful for your PMP exam preparation. Okay, and now with that, let's move on to the next lecture.